Sorry about that. Hi guys, it's me. Today we're going to be testing something different. We have the incandescent lights on right now for this test. Yeah, those two big 300 watt PS31s or whatever size they are. We got those installed right now, and we're going to be showing you. We're using the 80A Hoya 49 millimeter filter. And as you can see, the picture doesn't look half bad. So let me just show you, without the filter, just how much a difference it makes. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to sit here and show you that. So I need to put a simulate out. We'll put out Mr. Floopy Kitty, because he happens to be, he's not pure white anymore. He's getting a little dirty, but... Hi, remember me? Yeah. Okay, we're going to use you as me. Okay, so we'll do it. We'll put him. Sorry, Mr. Siamese. You're going to have to move a little. I would love to use my real cat, but he's kind of. This way. This way? Yeah, okay. Good enough for this. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Now, for this test, we do not have automatic white balance turned on, okay? I just want to show you what the difference is, so we can get this out without screwing up my settings here. That was with the filter on, and that's without it. So let me just stop it down a bit. Okay, and you can see that he looks kind of dun colored, and just for comparison's sake, I'm going to activate automatic white balance, ATW, and you can see that our kitty cat looks still too messed up. So I'm going to put our filter back on here. I have to open it accordingly because it takes a couple steps down, and you'll see now our colors are kind of closer to where they should be. So let me set this back to automatic. Right, that's why I like to leave it anyway. He's not really white because of dirt and stuff like that. Let me flip him around. It might help a bit better. Actually, Mr. Cat, can I use you as a test subject since you're laying there? Let me aim this at Buzzball over here because he's laying right next to the camera. So, okay. One of the things I like to do is test ideas out, what we call proof of concepts. There we go. Here I got a real cat here. You can see his fur. His fur. You can see his fur. He's kind of white, like, you know. This is with the 88 filter. I'm gonna take this off. And I'm gonna step it down a few notches. See that brownish, yellowish kind of tint to his white fur? Well, I'm gonna set this thing back to automatic so I can show you what I'm talking about here. Now, even in automatic, you'll notice there's no color. It's almost like the color is kind of off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the filter back on. This is what the filter looks like. It's really kind of a deep blue color. Screws back on here. It absorbs a lot of light, so unfortunately, I have to open it up a few steps to compensate for that. And you can see that now the cat looks closer to normal for what he should look like. I didn't focus the picture, but if I do that, you can see he looks pretty comfortable over there. So it's not perfect. You can go ahead and you can adjust the white balance control. Backlight off. I don't want that on anyway. So I can change the settings on here. You want to increase this for blue. I'm not interested. And you can turn it down. I'm going to leave it back to 41 or 40. 41 seems to work best for me. So, okay, so now that's how that works. Okay. Put my camera back where it belongs. And you can see I can't, my simulate, that we focused on. Now, by the way, one of the things that you probably noticed from using my camera enough times is that I need a little higher than that because I'm not going to slow down. Okay. Focus the camera now. Okay. Now, so that's the difference with an 80A filter versus just using the camera's ATW function, which the camera, by the way, does have a lot more features than that. I didn't go through all the fine tuning of the colors. I was just trying to do a quick demo of what it looks like. Let's talk about the light brightness here. And again, let's take a look at that page. Does that look white or does that look blue? It should look kind of close to white, but it might be a little bit of blue in it. I know my hair is a terrible topic because my hair is like kind of a grayish color. So you have to use test subjects like paper. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about, since I got all the equipment up, let's talk about some of the things too while we're at it. CFLs versus the incandescents as far as safety in the eye. I was using CFL in the studio for a long time because I was told it's the best way to go. It gives you the best picture, and it also gives you a bright screen. And it's daylight balanced, and it's gonna work 100% for you. And I have had more trouble using white balancing a CFL 6500 degree Kelvin bulb with some cameras than I want to talk about. But that's not the reason I want to talk about it. I want to talk about your eye health and your eye safety. Now, CFLs unfortunately produce two things that can hurt your eyes, especially the 6500 degree Kelvin bulbs. The first one is excessive blue. Blue light is not healthy for the human eyes. Why? Because, well, I don't know all the technical reasons. I know it has something to do with the cones and the way the cone of our eyes are designed. And they don't always properly recover with excessive blue light, because after all, humans are primarily, we're nocturnal, and so we're really designed for night work, not day work. Okay. Now, the second thing is that if you're going to use the other thing with those bulbs is they contain mercury, and they also produce ultraviolet light. And they also, especially since they're made to be as cheap as possible, often do not have the proper, well-designed electronic ballasts that they should have, and they can cause them to fail. Now, a failing bulb, you would think is, okay, that's $30 down the tubes. Yeah, well, some of those ballasts have also caused fires and have caused damage to your house and stuff as well. So I want to try out alternatives to CFLs for a while. Obviously, this 80A filter has made a noticeable improvement. I will need to adjust some things a little bit better as we go. But for right now, as I can see, the picture seems to do fairly well. Again, the blue background is still blue. It's not as blue as it could be, but it's still blue. Okay, and my hair isn't really white because again, it's the filter's taking out a lot of the excess colors But it still makes an improvement. And for the price I paid, $5.99, it was, I think, a pretty good investment. The incandescent bulbs we're using, unfortunately, are 300 watts apiece, and they get really hot. So I wouldn't want to sit in this room when it's, say, about 25 degrees Celsius outside and the windows are closed, unless they're going to run the air conditioner at the same time. But for this port, it is working. So that's what I wanted to test to see if it works. So here's the point of this demo. Number one, with an 88 filter on this cheap Chinese camera for security camera 2000, it looks better than even if you have it without the filter. Should you go for an 80B filter? Probably that's what I'm using is 80B. Yes, I would say it helps. Should I go for an 80A filter? Maybe. 80A is not quite as deep blue for balancing studio lights. These are technically not studio lights either. They're just industrial size, big ass incandescent bulbs. I'm going to show you the box the bulbs come in because some of you probably wondered how big they are. I'm not going to take them out of the pictures, they're hot. So you may remember these bulbs. Big enough? Sylvania? Service clear bulbs shows an example of the bulb being used on a shed or a warehouse type fixture. Very bright bulb. Really bright bulb. Okay? And this guy here has, look at the lumens in this bad boy. 5,870 lumens. I have not seen a CFL that gets close to 5,870 lumens. But the hours of life is only 750. It's a little better than the photo-specific ones, which only last like 3 to 5 hours at a time. This will last 750 hours. It's a PS30 bulb, which, as you can see, is pretty freaking huge. This is just holds one bulb. And so it says here, operates in any position. It's hot. You're hot. Oh my God, they're hot. All right. So anyway, now some of you probably wonder why we haven't had our nice fancy lead-ins and lead-outs that we usually do. Well, there's a couple of reasons why. Number one is I just haven't felt like doing it. Second of all is that, the videos are usually so simple and so short that I don't think it really need to go there. Oh, yes, unfortunately, you'll learn one thing real quick. CFLs don't really affect this. If the refrigerator starts up, the lights will go dim for a second and then turn back up, brighten up. That's because the incandescent bulb is more noticeable to voltage than the other kind of bulbs are. Obviously, if you're going to use one of these bulbs, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to, with an 88 filter, instead of closing it down by 3 or 4 stops, I have to close it down only by 1 stop. So I'm going to try a couple ideas with these bulbs. And I'm going to need a test subject. My cat just went into another room. Oh, Rusty's there, but he's kind of going in the other room too. So I guess I have to find some other simulates for testing. I'm going to keep testing on pictures. This is something that I was going to do last November. I didn't get a chance to. So we're going to keep trying some experiments and see if we can make the light look better in the studio. Like I said in an earlier segment today, these bulbs seem to be hurting my eyes much less than the CFLs were. The CFLs were really, really hurting my eyes. I actually was getting serious eye aches just to dealing with the CFLs. They were just, I don't know, there's just too blue, and they were just causing my eyes to really hurt, and it made the cataract in my right eye seem even more exasperatingly bad. So this is like a major improvement for me as far as vision. But it's going to take a while to adjust it and dial it in exactly the way I like it. And so that's what I'm going to do. And we got some other projects we're working on. I'm not going to bring those up right now because I have videos specifically dedicated to those. So we're just going to deal with the lights right now and tell you that if you do want to use a cheap security camera 2000, and if it does have infrared sensitivity, then maybe using a ADA filter or ADB filter for photo photography work may help. Because for incandescent light, unless you're really color or unless you don't really give a shit about the color, if you do not care, it doesn't matter. But unfortunately, I do care, and I like the looks of the light sources as they are. So obviously, I got whole different lights here. I don't have the fluorescent fill on, like I said, because I do have a 60 watt fluorescent or 60 watt incandescent, but the fuse on the 12 volt power supply is only a 5 amp. And I don't want to blow a fuse, and because 60 watts at 12 volts is 5 amps, which would push the fuse to the breaking point. Unless I want to go with a slightly bigger fuse, which would work fine. Except, of course, it would cause the battery to run down even faster, and I use the same power source for my camera, so I don't want to mess up my camera too. Alright, so if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas, I want to know about it. If you have ideas or would like to know more about using color balancing your videos for different sources of light, whatever, just let me know. I'll try to answer your questions if I can. Please don't forget to leave a comment in the section below, and don't forget to share less videos with your friends and like them, or if you don't, that's fine too. At least I know if you don't like the video and you send me a comment and you explain why, at least I know what to change for the next video function. The last thing, of course, is that if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And of course, if you can share this video with your friends, maybe you have friends who are interested in photography, in videography, or whatever. I'm sure they would love to see how a person on a shoestring is trying to make their YouTube videos better. Okay, bye bye, everybody.